Good morning, everybody. We're going to have another early morning chat this morning before I head into work. Today, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about being careful about sharing your dream with other people. And the reason why I say that is because you'll find, when you go through your different walks in life, that you're going to meet a ton of amazing, awesome people. But there's a difference between having a confidant in your life versus just an acquaintance or a friend. And more times than not, people genuinely do have your best interest at heart. And, overall, they might tell you things like, oh, I just want to be happy. Whatever makes you happy, I'm happy for you. But deep down, I don't know that that's always the case. And I don't mean to sound, super judgmental or I'm not coming with a bitter heart or anything like that. And so, how sometimes people say, like, you wouldn't understand because you haven't been what I've, you haven't gone through what I've gone through. Totally understandable. It really is truly hard for us to relate sometimes to other people and their circumstances because we legit have not gone through it ourselves. And so that's not something that's really like near and dear to our heart. Unfortunately, sometimes that's what it takes, is for us to literally walk the walk, go through a journey, whether it's a positive one or a not so positive one. That is where we can really understand and become relatable to somebody else. And there again, that's something that can be used for good, in that your pain and your hurts, God can use that to minister to other people. So side topic, keep in mind that whether you think it's of importance or not, your situation or your story can certainly bless somebody after you've come out on the other end of it. I usually find that it's easier to be vulnerable with those people that you find are confidants in your life, and even strangers, matter of fact, that I've come across in my path. Something that I've gone through in my past has actually been a blessing to that other person when I've opened up and been vulnerable enough to share that hurt or that walk with them, because either they're about to go in it, they're going through it, or they're just coming out of it. And the other end, it blesses people and it touches them because they can see there's light at the end of the tunnel, that they too can use that experience, to touch other people in their lives. But I wanted to say all that to say, be careful who you confide in. Those of you who are Christians, you walk with the Lord and you have a relationship, better than anybody else that those other people that are your friends or your acquaintances, maybe they're your co-workers, sometimes people even at church that you've really not made that true connection with, that really don't necessarily know your heart. They haven't had the opportunity maybe to do so. They may still have your best interest in heart, but they may still not be able to relate to you. They may not know the path that God's called you to do. And so when I say be careful who you share your dreams with, if you pay attention and you listen hard enough, God will reveal to you where he would have you to go. And unfortunately, not everybody is going to understand that. Not even people that are super close to you. So if you can have that one or two people that's your confidant, that's your ride or die, that's going to be with you through your hurts, through your joys, who's not going to necessarily sway you in one way or another, but they're going to support you no matter what. That's amazing if you have somebody in your life. But ultimately, even if you don't, God should be the center and the focus. And so we have distractions all day, every day. The devil can use people, unfortunately, to plant those seeds of doubt, uncertainty, confusion. But God's not the author of confusion. And so I feel like when we get to that place where we can be quiet and be still long enough, where we can just really hear from him, he gives us that confidence and that peace that surpasses all understanding, that will help us hone in to make that next step, that next decision, that next choice that's going to move us further along on our journey and get us to that next step. And so be careful who you share your dreams with, because like I said, unfortunately, the devil can use people, even the people that you would least expect. And, that's not necessarily putting the blame game and holding that individual accountable, because we know that we live in a world where, we constantly live in a spiritual warfare. And so, like I said, the devil can use people, unfortunately, to maybe say something that will discourage you. Just the other day, a coworker gave me that stank face, like, are you sure you want to do that? But I had that peace. I had that confidence instilled within me that I could immediately respond to that person in love and with compassion, but confidently enough to know the direction that God's called me to go in. But see, I say that to remind you that his intentions were good. We get along, we're cool and all, but he couldn't understand what God has called me to do, because that's my journey, that's my path, and he's not going to connect with what I believe my dream and my passion and my purpose is, because it's not his journey. That's a connection and a confirmation that God has provided to me. And so those naysayers, those negative comments that you may receive, those distractions, those moments of uncertainty and doubt, when they start to creep in, I just would strongly encourage you to just pray over that. Send those thoughts away and bring yourself back to that place of peace, where God has spoken to you and confirmed what it is that you're supposed to do. Super hard, easier said than done. When those distractions start to come in, it can really mess with your head, like, for sure. Been there, done that. But I just encourage you guys to, whether it's going directly with God and keeping it in that, inner circle, whether it's going to your mentor, your confidant, or that person that is gonna bring you that type of mentorship that's gonna lead you and basically bring confirmation of what God sort of already told you. I would encourage you guys to seek advice from those people, and not necessarily go around sharing your dream or your purpose with just anybody in the office. Because like I said, they may not relate to you, they may not understand, they may not support that as an end result, and that's okay. Your journey and your path is simply that of your own. And so just remember that when you start to feel feelings of doubt and uncertainty, be confident, be secure, have peace in what God's led you to do, and just continue to press forward and focus in on that. So thanks for listening. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.